Hi everyone, how are you? I have been barraged with information that something went down with our favorite hoarder. Okay, I guess that she put on a cast for the occasion, so one can deduce that she had her hearing in front of the judge for contempt, because ETN has indeed, I was correct actually, I hate to brag, but when Michelle pulled out that thing out of the couch and no one was sure what it was, I was actually correct, and it was indeed ETN's balls. And so once those were relocated, possibly repossessed and reattached, ETN has regrown his ball sack, and he did go and get an attorney and go ahead and let Michelle know what freaking time it is. Okay, so I have the most recent hearing information. Okay, I've got it. Something happened. I'm getting all these calls saying what was going on because she was acting absolutely out of control on a live last night on the Rumble. Now, if you're not on the Rumble, please go to my community post and use my referral code to sign up on the Rumble, because I have recently lost monetization on my platform here on YouTube, and I don't make a lot of money, as you all know. I'm transparent about the money that I make, and when I am active on my channel, I finally got to the point where I made $120 on my channel. So I had to take 3 months off around the holiday period for the other issues, as you know, I was having. And so I didn't make money then. So if we average out, it's May now, I've received one check from YouTube for my work. So I've made 120 over 5 months right now. And I won't be able to reapply for monetization for 2 more months. And as we all know, once they take your monetization, you don't get it back. I lost my monetization for narrating a manifesto that has been in the news for over 20 years, that is hosted on Google itself, and was in the New York Times, the Washington Post, and several other news outlets. I did nothing wrong, but when I restarted content on a certain person who will not be mentioned, his case, when I went to the courthouse and reported on her hearing, then what do you know? My channel was mass reported and something stuck, and she reported it to the right person, who they not only took they gave me a warning strike, which I didn't know makes you lose monetization, but apparently they got a live person to review what I was narrating, and they said that it was encouraging violence. So I have that on there now, whether it was reviewed by a live person. So that's very, very serious. And I spent another 2 hours trying to regain my monetization the other night, and they said no, that what I did is a very serious offense. I narrated word for word the manifesto that is on Google, which is YouTube's parent company. So the censorship on this platform is getting very scary. So please, I am going to back everything up on Rumble. I fear that my channel is going to be canceled soon, and so I'm backing my things up, as all of us YouTube rebels are getting sent over to Rumble. Please use my referral code and follow me over there. I will be getting everything over there, so if you come to YouTube one day and my channel's not there, we're already going to have a backup plan. YouTube wants to get rid of us, so we're honest. Well, that's fine, because I was trying to honestly earn income. So with that being said, if you felt like you were going to be giving Michelle any money, or people pretending to be giving money to charity on behalf of Michelle, and you want to give me something on my Cash App, I would greatly appreciate it, because the garden 2024 needs to get started. I have some volunteer stuff coming up, and I don't know what it is. So I'd like to plant some seeds and get this going. Cash App link is on my intro, and it is Tabitha Jane 13. So, if you've not subscribed yet to Mocking Media, please do, because I am old and brain damaged. I can't figure out how to do things on a computer to make a good content and whatnot. So I go and I use Mocking Media for the intros because they are the most appropriate. And if I had an intro for my channel, this is what I would want. So will I get the court documents pulled up from whatever Michelle is spinning up? I've got the latest right here. I've got it all. Somebody kindly paid for it and sent it to me. Thank you so much. You know who you are. And I've got it here. So while I'm getting it ready, please watch this intro and be sure to sub to Mocking Media. They've got great content. You're going to laugh your ass off. Here we go. Under fair use, of course. So under fair use, the Fair Use Act and Disclaimer, Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, an allowance is made for fair use using the four-factor balancing act test. That states that, number one, the small portion of the original material is used, and that new work is critique, satire, or education, and that the commercial value of the original is not diminished. That means when you borrow somebody's work like this, you don't take it all from them and say that you're doing it in the name of charity. Anyway, new work is predominantly original product of user, and I sourced that from Emerging EdTech and Termly. When you do take information, please always cite your source and develop your own style on your own channel, and people will come and follow you for that. Don't take somebody else's content. It's not nice. We're raising a community of nice people here. I've got the best on my channel. My channel is still, small. It's small, but it is growing because I am picky with who's in my channel. I don't let misinformation fly in my comments or anywhere else. So you come over here with misinformation or try to tell me whatever. You know what? You don't fit in my little crowd because my crowd here doesn't allow twats. That happened when I was a resident of Watts Island, and I made a rule that there are no T-Watts. And I have been going back and doing a lot of Watts content because there is a lot that is out there that is misinformation. If you've ever been curious of the backstory of if Chris Watts did it, and here's why. Doesn't mean that I'm bashing any murder victims. Doesn't mean that I'm saying anybody deserved it. But I'm saying that we need to know the story, the whole story. Nothing but the truth. And if there is somebody in prison, they need to be there by definition that they did it. They did it alone, and they did it of sound mind, body, and soul. And if there are other factors, it doesn't mean that that person needs to be freed from prison. It means that they can admit that they did it, and they can say guilty by reason of. Okay? And people are, but he's already sentenced. Well, he never had a trial. He is indeed eligible to have a trial when he wants. And I go and I strive to do the truth. I put in hundreds of hours of research. Every single document that is out there legally is on my channel. I've done 350, I think, Watts videos. So those are there. If nothing else, they will put you to sleep. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and share my channel. I'm taking a day off of Watts Island, coming on over here to the Hoarder. Here we go. A hoarder's a dirty pirate hooker who thinks that they're still hot. I love that part. Eating that peanut butter toast while you guys are watching that. Gotta have some energy.
Hello. My name is Taylor, and I'm 65 years old. For the last 44 years, I've been an awesome fucking hoarder. Now, I'm not going to show my face because I'm still recovering from a goddamn stroke that I had last year. So this is my house, and I know that it's better than yours. It was designed by a French architect named Marky Mark and his funky bunch. The house was built in 1492 by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And that's from motherfucking Bel Air bitches. Go ahead, admit it, you're fucking jealous. So anyway, a bunch of people on YouTube are saying that my house is fucking dirty. It's not.
It's not dirty.
This is my awesome kitchen where I film all of my cooking videos.
Okay.
See, it's spotless. You fucking trolls. You could easily eat off of the floor.
This is why Mocking Media is so hilarious. They have the Michelle voice down. Tell me that if you were like spinning around blindfolded and turned around, you wouldn't say that is Michelle. And that picture of that kitchen cracks me up because we all know that the house that ETN is going to get back as his was absolutely beautiful. He kept it in very good condition. He was doing the things that needed to be done. and maintaining it well, keeping everything good, because we've seen what she has done to the kitchen, the bathroom, her turd pole, because she doesn't even have like a turd knife or anything. She has to have a big turd pole to crank everything out in. And, you know, when she made that soup, that chowder, whatever, and said that she was bringing it to the police department for them to eat. Do you remember that? When she used the toast. Oh, God, I'm eating peanut butter toast, thinking about texting on toast. When she said that she was bringing that pot of that brew from her cauldron, she was bringing that to the police department. Can you imagine? She was going down there bringing food to them. She's probably like, I want to see you take a bite of it. I want to see if you like it. And they're probably all like, oh, there's a big call we've got to go to. Well, I didn't hear anybody call in. I just want you to take a bite of it. And they're all probably like, oh, man. Imagine all the dog hair and everything in there. Oh, my God. Thinking about that. Did I tell you that on Craigslist, there was a person who was making Jell-O. It's called Broken Glass, I guess, where it's like Cool Whip and Jell-O squares. And it looks like stained glass, supposedly, right? A 70s Jell-O recipe. And so somebody was selling them, and the recipient that bought it showed what was given to them. And so it appears that the person on Craigslist had gotten their Jell-O mold out of the cupboards, and it was filled with dog hair. And so when they put in the Jell-O and the Cool Whip and everything, and then dumped the Jell-O thing, it had this layer of hair, dog hair. And can you imagine how much dog hair is in? She, even though she's not technically a cat or anything, but she probably has a bunch of hairballs to like release. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what's in her? She probably has one of those teratomas. Probably teratomas. I'm sure of it. I'm sure she has a teratoma. Let me see. I'm pulling up some stuff. Hold, please. Hold.
Videos. See, it's spotless. You fucking trolls. You could easily eat off of the floors in my kitchen. In fact, you can eat off of any of the floors in my house. This is my living room, or as I like to call it, my totally awesome YouTube studio. That's my couch. There's my dog. And yes, you fucking dipshits, he's perfectly safe in this environment. There's my shitter. You can watch, but it'll cost you. Boom. This is my bedroom. And no, it doesn't smell like stale farts. Here's my perfectly organized
No, it doesn't
closet.
smell like stale
And
farts.
yes, bitches, I'm pretty sure that I have a pair of clean undies in there. And in this room, I have my own personal bar. Unfortunately, I use the one in my car more often. These are some of my antiques. When my clients were short on cash, they'd pay me with these priceless treasures from all over the world.
Can you imagine
That's
her
how
shelf
good this
of
front butt is, bitches.
beer cans?
And as you can see, I have everything neatly organized into boxes. So everyone can stop running their fucking mouths, okay? My house is as clean as my moneymaker. These are my toys. And let me tell you, I have lots of fucking toys. Unfortunately, most of the batteries in them need replaced. What can I say? I'm really lonely. This here is my library. And here is my dining room. Again, you fat bloated bitches, it's clean. Here is the hallway that leads to my back door. Sure, it's a tight fit, but it's very easy to access. So you see, my house is fucking clean. Clearly, you're a fucking idiot if this little tour didn't prove it for you. Now get the fuck out of my house.
Like, subscribe, and share to Mocking Media. You know you want to. And then, while I'm reading this court thing, because you guys like to have things to look at, and so I will appease you. Let me show you this. This one is part of that raw video that I was sent from Michelle sending proof of her sobriety. A few years ago, when she was recently or about to marry ETN, despite their fights and despite every red flag known to mankind, and despite everybody telling him not to, he did marry her. And so she was saying that she was absolutely sober and sent it to a friend to show it. She's like, I am completely sober. Look at me. So we'll be looking at Michelle completely sober, saying there's nothing in her blood, urine, or otherwise she's completely sober. We'll be looking at that in the background while I read every single thing on this court document, because y'all know that I do that. I don't pick apart. So we've got 28 pages to look at. It looks like she has another hearing on June 17th. So something happened here. I don't know what is going on because it says it was filed on May 10th. I don't see what happened that has her all spun up. So you and I are going to investigate this together. I don't see anything new. I don't know what is going on with her. But something ain't right. Something's got her spun. Something's got her all kinds of... Because this is May 10th. What does this have here? Okay. So this is going to be playing. We're going to turn that off.
There's nothing in my blood. There's nothing in my urine. So
nothing in her blood, nothing in her urine, totally sober. So you watch this as I talk. Watch a totally sober Michelle.
okay, so you're totally clean. There's nothing in your blood.
All right, so we have the respondent as Michelle Sabate, the petitioner as one ETN Sabate, and this is in a civil action file. And it is dated May 10th. So what is new? I don't get it. It says the petitioner's third citation of contempt, and it's hilarious because that's in italics. The petitioner's third citation for contempt, having been read and considered, shall be filed, and a copy together with this rule NISI will be served upon respondent as required by law. The respondent shall appear to show cause before Honorable Bobby G. Peters at the Harris County Courthouse, Hamilton, Georgia, on the 17th day of June 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Why she needs to show why petitioner's requested relief should not be granted. Okay, and that was signed this 10th day of May. I'm not seeing what is new here. Why she's all spun up. What am I missing, guys? Certificate of service was the 10th of May. And certificate of service was by mail. So they did an email and United States mail. There are certain states that do allow service by mail. So then we go over here and we've got the third citation for contempt. And so it comes now ETN Sabate, petitioner in the above styled case, and by and through his counsel, pursuant to blah, 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 another applicable Georgia law, and submits this, his third citation for contempt against respondent, and shows to the court as follows. The parties were divorced by final divorce judgment and decree entered on October 27, 2022, in the Superior Court of Harris County, Georgia, in a civil action file, number 21, TAC CV, TAC 191. The final divorce and judgment and decree is also incorporated in a settlement agreement entered on October 22nd. This sounds like exactly what Lucy said, so I don't know why this is showing up as new or what's... Basically, I got a bunch of information that she was on Rumble last night, flailing around with a cast on her wrist, screaming that she needed to get out of her house by the 17th, and like something, she was implying that something had happened in court, and I received information that she was mentioning certain creators for being the reason why she has to be thrown out, because of course nothing is ever Michelle's fault. So of course she's going to go on to everybody and say that this is why she lost her house, because these crazy YouTubers were bullying her because she's got mental illness, but she doesn't have mental illness, but you know. So I'm not seeing anything new, but I'm just going through this. I didn't peek. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. The parties own a home and lot. So here is, the lot is mentioned. Now, we know by looking at the lot is not all hers, that she does own a home and the lot on it with ETN. She did not initially buy it. She was not able to be on that original loan because she had recently filed bankruptcy for, I can't remember how many times that was, but under duress. And there are rumors that I cannot confirm that she literally by pew pew made ETN put her on the title. Okay, so that's how she's on this. I think that he was being a smart businessman and not putting her on because he knew that this would end up that way. Now, we do have in our United States, we do have marital law, and so it doesn't matter often because there is marital property, blah, 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 separation. She was trying to draw out the divorce because she knew that if she drew out the divorce, allegedly, this is what I'm thinking she did, if you draw out a divorce long enough with a military man and you can prove on paper that you were married to them for 10 years, you are entitled to a portion of their retirement. So I'm sure that that's what she was doing when she was initially getting everything delaying, if you will. So it says, the husband shall be solely responsible for timely paying the mortgage payments, insurance, property taxes, and utilities through May 31st, 2023. If we circle back to 1 year ago, all of us thought that there was a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, you know what, folks? It was just another train, and we were watching a big frickin' train coming at us. Now I got a train wreck for another ding year, courtesy of Michelle. Okay? So, let me see here. So he had to pay, even though it was technically both of theirs, he got the shittiest divorce deal on earth, and he had to pay all of the mortgage and insurance, property taxes, and utilities through May 31st. Now, it says beginning June 1, 2023, the wife shall assume sole property for timely paying the mortgage payments, insurance, property taxes, and utilities, and she shall indemnify and hold the husband harmless from any and all obligations associated with the property. Yeah, right. How'd that work out? Beginning June 1, 2023, the husband shall not be required to make any payments on the said property, and husband shall have no liability, duty, or responsible for same. Now, let's talk about that, because a judge can say that in a divorce decree, but the holder of the mortgage, so the bank, is not going to go by this divorce decree. The divorce decree says this, but we all know that if the payment wasn't being made, then it's going to go into foreclosure, and that's going to go on ETNs. Now, if I was ETN, I would have let it go, but he has a different plan. Let's play the long plan with him. Now, somebody is calling me. I need to take this call really quick and get right back to this. So watch this video quickly and I will be back. Boo Boo, entertain everybody for a second.
Completely clean. There's nothing in my blood. There's nothing in my urine. So I smoked for the first time.
Okay, so you're totally clean. There's nothing in your blood. There's nothing in your urine. You're totally clean. The ceiling fan that's always going is going. Totally clean. Nothing in your urine. Nothing in your blood.
Ever. And this idea is ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Like, anybody that ever smokes my stuff. There's like one or two hits, and they're like, damn, what are you gonna do?
Anybody that ever smokes your stuff is like, damn, oh yeah, because you've got the best stuff ever, the best dealer ever, oh yeah.
So I smoked for the first time. It's ridiculous. Like, imagine, like, when you're like 14, 15, 16, whenever you've ever smoked pot for the first time ever. Like, ever. And this idea is ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Like, anybody that ever smokes my stuff. There's like one or two hits, and they're like, damn, what are you gonna do?
Teeth are all sawed off, all straight from sucking dick.
Boo Boo, did you entertain everybody? Thank you, Boo Boo. Thank you, Boo. Okay, I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. People need to understand. I'm busy. Okay. So, like I was saying, if she wanted her name on the house so dang bad, then when they got a divorce, she should have been at least responsible for half of the mortgage like she wanted to be. I can tell you, without having any contact with ETN, that she never put one dime towards that house. Not a dime, not a penny. Yeah, I see you looking at me like that. So, anyway, like I was saying, that the court can say that in a divorce decree, but that's not going to be honored. The fact that it says here in this divorce document that was the agreement, that does mean that where she's sitting there thinking that, oh yeah, he's just taking it off as rent, and so it just is coming off my equity. No, this is going to go down as a contempt, and she's not going to get anything. She's not going to get a cent because she's an idiot. But you know what? The idiot bought herself 1 year of not having to pay for anything and has a bunch of idiots giving her money. So who wins? Who wins every time? This idiot. Okay. The wife agrees to purchase the home from the husband for $230,000 on or before May 31, 2023, and the husband shall be entitled to keep any net proceeds, if any, from the sale. If determined to be necessary for wife's purchase, the husband shall execute a quitclaim deed within 24 hours of presentation to him by wife or wife's closing attorney. That means that if she had the means to take over that mortgage or buy the home outright, then but she couldn't qualify for it credit-wise, he could sign a quitclaim and give her the rights to the house. And because we know that he's a reasonable person, he would have done that. I believe that that's the interpretation of that. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what that's saying in there. If the wife is able to purchase the home, the wife shall be awarded the said home in fee simple. The parties agree that the wife shall have exclusive use and possession of said home until she completes her purchase or until the property is sold. Now, that was a problematic aspect of the way this was written, because we know that she has exploited this aspect of it, because she has drawn her feet and said, she can't qualify. Oh, she had a job, but because of YouTubers, they took the job away, because in order to qualify for the home, she would have to show that she has the income to prove it. Basically, after the home crash of 2006, all of the you used to be able to buy a house coming up with money that you can't prove where you got it. So you could come in with a suitcase of cash, as you all know what I'm saying about that, and be able to say, hey, I have this. Now you have to prove where that came from, that it was in your bank account, etc., etc. So that's where we don't know that she might be the mastermind in all of this and be sitting on a pile of cash, but she still couldn't get qualified to get the house because she has to show that she has the income to do it, which is most likely why she's been getting a job. Additionally, with the criminal charges that she's facing for the DUIs, she needs to show that she's an active participant of society, going to work and earning her own way. It's going to be very problematic when a judge says you haven't worked in so long, and so how are you affording all of these things? You don't have a prescription to match here. You don't have this and that. Now, she probably has state care, or else it'd be even more problematic, and somebody who doesn't have insurance trying to say how she had those pills that are in her system, because the blood draw will prove that she had substance in her system, and she knows it. So, the parties further agree that if the wife is unable to refinance the home on or before May 31st, 2023, the parties shall cooperate to place the home on the market for sale and shall split the net proceeds equality 50-50 after first subtracting any necessary repair costs paid by for either party. A party who has incurred repair costs shall be reimbursed before the parties divide the net proceeds. The parties shall agree on the initial list price and any price changes. If the parties cannot agree, they will defer to the listing agent and he or she will decide. The wife shall maintain the home in show-worthy condition while it is listed for sale. Okay, we know that that real estate agent that she tried to, well, look at this. She tried to woo him with this get up here.
Well, yes, this is Michelle Sober sending this video. Is that there's nothing in her,
I mean,
in her urine.
There's nothing in
Wouldn't you want that? Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. The agent, fortunately, did not give in to her feminine wiles, and she's probably lucky that he didn't press charges for attempted murder. But he did state that she tried to do that to detract him from doing what he's supposed to do. She thinks she has a little background plan for everything, and maybe in the past her feminine wiles were able to get her places, but it's really hard to be an old, crusty, washed up hooker. It doesn't ever look good on a resume. It's difficult in an interview. Speaking from experience, because I'm an old, washed up whore. Just ask anybody, especially my haters. So she can't be using that to get her way anymore. I don't know how it ever worked, because I don't personally find her attractive, but like I say, my type is fat, bald man. All right, so anyway, it states here, no necessary repairs. The husband shall repair the gym ceiling, and the husband shall pay upfront costs to repair the deck. The wife shall reimburse the husband 1/2, 50% at closing for costs to repair the deck. The downstairs Airbnb ceilings shall be repaired with the already allocated insurance proceeds, and the husband shall pay the $1,000 deductible. The wife shall obtain a repair estimate for the upstairs bathroom leak, and the husband shall pay for the repair, and the wife shall reimburse the husband 1/2, 50% of the out-of-pocket repair costs at closing. So those were noted aspects at the time of divorce that were agreed upon by both parties. So we know that she is in contempt for not having the house in show-worthy condition. We know that real estate agent has written a statement to that effect. So that's going to go a very long way in how the judge is going to look at this. And like I say, these are all the court things I was sent this morning. We're trying to figure out what has Michelle spun up. This is the only information I've got. I do believe that I'm repeating what Lucy read last week. I put a community post up for everybody to go over and listen to Lucy. She did a great job on it. So I am just now trying to see if there's anything new that would explain why she's saying she has to be out of the house based on YouTubers, because I'm not seeing it so far. Haven't peeked ahead. We're going to continue. Let's see here. Now, when I was talking about the deck and it already has like a thing, I was thinking about the close proximity that she had the barbecue on the deck. She had it like so close up against the house. Are you guys thinking about that too? And thinking about how reckless she is, intentionally or otherwise, and how much she would have benefited had something happened from the barbecue being too close? Her reasons for continuing to fall down the stairs, in my opinion, are so that she can try and put an action against the house as well in against the homeowner's insurance. There's always something diabolical to what she's doing, and her purposely coming on and saying that she fell down the stairs and blah blah blah, and the flip-flops had done it, and then she got her ass beat in the rehab, and then before that she had gotten hurt on the Walmart clock. So she's actively trying to have injuries to explain why she's not working. She's doing everything she can to try to be able to manipulate a judge. But I think that all of the manipulations and all of the karma are going to come together. Now, this is still just reciting the basics of the divorce, and it says both parties agree that all cash, savings, and checking accounts have been equitably divided, and each hereby waives any and all right, title, and interest in the savings accounts and checking accounts held in the name of the other party. Man, ETN could have gotten himself some cash, yeah. Equitable division of property, marital debts. Parties have already equitably divided their joint debts. Husband shall be solely responsible for his individual debts. Agrees to indemnify wife and hold wife harmless from the same. The wife shall be solely responsible for her individual debts and agrees to indemnify husband and hold husband harmless from same. Each party shall hereafter be solely responsible for any additional debts incurred by the said party. Because I was wondering if she's racked up more credit card debt and how that was going to be. So that answered that question to myself. Equitable division of property, retirement accounts, and future retirement benefits. This is what I know that she was trying to get. The parties do herein temporarily and permanently waive any and all rights, claims, or assertions either may now have in law or in equity to any and all retirement accounts of the other party, including but not limited to 401k, IRA, and Roth IRA accounts. In addition, the parties permanently waive any claim either may have in law or in equity to the other party's current and or future retirement pensions or other benefits, whether vested or unvested. That was probably a big fear of ETN's, of her getting some of the retirement.
I urine, so I smoked for the first time.
Now, the husband shall be permitted to retrieve all of his clothing and personal property items and his armoire from the marital home. The husband shall provide the wife with at least 48 hours notice of his intent to retrieve same, and the wife shall cooperate. The parties also specifically agree that the wife is awarded the wine rack that is currently in the husband's possession, and the husband shall return the said wine rack at the time when he arrives to retrieve his own property items. Can you freaking imagine her prized possession being the wine rack? Yeah, laugh at that. There you go. That's my best evil witch Michelle laugh for you guys. Ready? Okay, look at her. Now think about this. My precious, my pretties. Do that laugh and look at Michelle. I'm telling you, she looks like the Wicked Witch of the West. And so the wine rack. I'm getting the wine rack. The parties otherwise agree that they have already divided all personal effects, books, papers, memorabilia, jewelry, and clothing, and any personal articles, regardless of where such articles are located. In addition, the parties have made an amicable division of their household furniture, furnishings, and other marital property items, and each shall be entitled to keep that which he or she currently possesses. Now, I know that there is something not true in that, and you guys know that as well. Those of us noted that she was writing something very concerning in every new channel that she would create. She would put the same word over and over. She would put, well, I don't even want to say it because I'm going to get in more trouble with YouTube, but she would, the initials for what she was saying actually are the same initials as her. So it was something she would say with an M and an S. And so, we weren't sure if, okay, is this her joke about, Michelle Sabate, or is this her saying what she is intending to do? I did a video about it, and there were many of us who had reported to the authorities that needed to be privy to that knowledge that she was writing this, and that they needed to have their security on extra security. There was extra security provided the day that she was going to go, because she had to give back ETN all of his pew-pews. Now, remember when she thought that she was Billy Badass, Annie Oakley, and everything, and she used to threaten everybody every day about what an amazing shot she was, and that she was going to go to a meet and greets, but she was going to take her pew-pews, and she was going to take them on the airplane. She learned a lot from ETN in the way that he would travel as a military man, in the ways that he, was, he liked his Second Amendment. Okay, so she acted like she was part of that culture as well. And we know that she wasn't. And the way that she would threaten and do that is not the way that somebody who was responsible would ever discuss their pew-pews. You don't let anybody know what kind of pew-pews you got going on there. Anywho, when she was supposed to give everything back to him, because all of them were in his name, that's when people thought there was going to be problems, because she had his guitars and the pew-pews. Now, people were telling her that she had every right to sell them and sell his gym equipment and everything, and no, that was supposed to be in the divorce decree about the pew-pews, the guitars, etc., etc. So anyway, shortly after she was supposed to leave the house, so about a year ago, this is when that exchange happened. So when she drove up with the pew-pews, there was actually security there outside of the courthouse to make sure that transfer of pew-pews from her to him went without them being aimed at him, if you will. So we know that there was more to that there. And I'm kind of wondering why that wasn't stated. Maybe it's something that he wanted to keep private. And then we go in here and we say periodic alimony. The wife is awarded periodic alimony in the amount of $1,400 per month to be paid by the husband through May 31st, 2023. So she was getting $1,400 a month and not having to make a house payment, insurance payment, car payment. As she said, he even paid for the toilet paper to wipe her stank ass with. Okay? So she was getting all of that. That's why she's laughing, because she's laughing all the way to the bank. She'd never been able to rip off somebody as bad as she ripped off ETN. There was nobody that gave her as much. That's why she never wanted to let go, and it implies that she still has him wrapped around her little finger, because she was able to manipulate and exploit him, because his brain doesn't act in the same way. He's a normal person who thinks in normal ways and has accountability, and he had never encountered such a insane, I don't even want to say it's succubus, because succubus are customarily beautiful and attractive. We just never ran into such a skanky dependopotamus. The wife is awarded periodic alimony in the amount, blah, blah, blah. The said alimony payment shall continue to be due and payable on the first day of each month until all payments have been made or upon the remarriage of the wife. Whoa, so if she would have found another sucker to marry her, but she can't. There's also all this talk about how many times she's been married, how many times there's been runaway grooms, how many times she's been engaged, and then how many times she's actually even faked pregnancies, if you can believe that or not. Let me see here. Oh my God, stop it. Stop it, stop it. No. No. Okay, stop it. People keep messaging me and messing up my phone. Okay. So we got the wine rack. We got all of that. Like I say, this is just summing up their basic divorce decree. It's dated. It's the same stuff that Lucy did. I don't see where she's saying that something says she has to be out of the house. There's nothing. I have in my hands right now everything that is current to the courthouse, everything that has been filed to this date and served to her. So I do not see anything different than what we already know, but I'm continuing to discover this with you all to make sure that there's nothing we're missing. Oh, this is hilarious, because we know this, but I think that this could be proven, and maybe this is where she's talking about other YouTubers providing information, because in number 10 subsection here, it says that mutual restraint. Neither party shall make disparaging, demeaning, or negative remarks about the other party directly to others in the presence of the other party, and neither shall permit others to engage in such communications. In addition, neither party shall post negative, disparaging, or demeaning images or remarks about the other party on social media, nor shall they allow others to do so. Now, this should be stated then, if this is part of being in there, then anybody who has evidence as such of her demeaning ETN on social media otherwise that they can prove, not that they have heard, that they have screenshots of, or others, I would definitely say that the way to forward those would be to put those to the Superior Court of Harris County, Georgia, referencing the civil action file of 21 TAC, CV TAC 191 C1, in the third citation for contempt, and you would put attention to the Honorable. Let me make sure. Here we go. Let's make this to the Honorable. Hold, please. Da, 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 da. Ooh, we should do this too. Make sure that you put the Honorable Bobby G. Peters, Peters. He's cited as the witness, and he will be the judge to hear this case on the 17th day of June at 9:30 in the morning. I do believe that the email and everything should be the same as what I have posted on my community page as I was allowing people a vessel to send the videos of her being under the influence and whatnot while driving. And I believe that if you were so inclined, you could also send proof to ETN's attorney, who is Scott Sykes, Sikes, and his state bar number is 645799. His address is 5 Bradley Park Court, Suite 101, and that is in Columbus, Georgia, 31904. His telephone number is 706-494-6900. His email is Scott with 1 T, SCOT, at SCOTSIKES.com. So Scott at ScottSykes.com. You could put any of your items where you can further prove Michelle breaking that aspect. I would say that any pictures of the house that she has shown and any of the disparaging comments, because those are all things that they should know of how she has been in contempt of court. And I think that ETN could use all of the support that we can offer him, because as you can see that this was in there, this man cared about his reputation and she used that against him. If we look back into the video where his best man was toasting and telling her that she could not have married better, and he had all of his military, his uppers, his brothers in service, he had everybody there that knew and loved him for the man that he is. And the respect for him was palpable. You could see that. And she's going around dressed in some weird ass thing, snorting and going back and forth. And we know that the wedding was at the house, because then that was more convenient for her to go and, change her clothes and do some blow. Sipping that coffee. You guys drinking coffee too? So we've got that. That is the basics of that divorce. The contempt we have all listed here. What am I missing? What has her saying that she got something that says she has to be out of the house? Is she just freaking out because she knows that on the 17th she's going to go and appear and has no chance of winning? Even still, they're not going to tell her she has to be out that day. They're probably going to give her 30 days. Well, what is she doing? She's doing a big cash grab. That's probably all this is. She's probably just doing this so that then she can get a big old pad of money so that when she gets kicked out, she'll be able to go and live in a motel, because that's what she was doing the last time when she met ETN. All of her lies had caught up to her, so she was running from some big scary people, because when Michelle gets busted, she brings everybody down with her. She's a big shitstorm. Just like that turd pole in the toilet, she cranks it around. That's what she does. Okay, she's the cranker of shit. She stirs the shit pile. She stirs that shit. She stirs up the shit in her cauldron. Okay, look at her laughing about this. So she literally will not go and take responsibility for anything else. She'll bring everybody down. So when she gets busted for having illegal substances, whatever, she's going to go and tell where she bought it, how she bought it, when she bought it, where she bought it, set them up and do whatever. She is a known informant, or a rat, as they like to call them. And those have told me that, in fact, she even testified against her own son when I've shown videos acting like she's mother of the year, trying to tell her son that she's sober. Yeah, let's make her laugh on that, because it's the biggest joke ever. Yeah. This is her sober, telling people she's sober and that she's mother of the year. Yeah, it's funny. So, nothing is filed in the court that is new that I can see. The person who sent me this is very reliable and scoured the court to make sure that nothing else was filed. So to this day, we cannot see anything. So if she's saying that there was something else or something that happened from that hearing that we can't see, maybe something else is going to show, but I don't see anything yet. Let's keep going through everything that I was sent. Compromise and settlement agreement. What do we got here? What do we got? Nothing. What is she? Like I say, I think it's just her bullshit. I think she's just lying. Wow. Could anybody imagine her lying? What is going on here? I don't see anything. July 12th. Okay. Let me see this. Okay, what date is this? This is still May 10. I'll go to the thing in June, but I would need to have somebody pay for that. But I'd go. I'm available. Okay, so what I was saying is that she was living in a hotel. That's what she was literally doing. She had lost everything, gotten kicked out. And was living in a hotel. And the hoe then met ETN. However you want to say that he met her. And he played the dirty, dangerous game of Captain Save-A-Hoe and tried to make a hoe into a housewife. And we see that it failed miserably. So that's what she wants. She's probably just acting like something happened and trying to get a bunch of people to feel so bad for her. Okay, is this a different document? Let me see here. Still May 10th, 2024. Okay, so parties were divorced. That's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. Okay. Not seeing anything. Well, this is happening. So this is referring to what happened last year. As it says, on July 10th, 2023, the petitioner filed a citation for contempt against the respondent for failure to comply with certain terms of the settlement agreement. A hearing was held on July 12, 2023, so last July, and the respondent was found and held in willful contempt for her failure to pay the mortgage payment as alleged. On September 7, 2023, an order on citation for contempt was filed with this court and is attached hereto as Exhibit B. Okay. So he really has been doing as much as he can, but of course we know that the hands of justice, don't even move right now. They're basically flailing. I just heard a train go by. I could hear the train. Like I said, we thought there was a light at the tunnel, but it was a train coming. a big old train wreck here. Look at her looking around saying that she's sober, she's sober, she's sober. Ah! Let's get her to another good stopping. Okay. So on October 10, so we can say that he had been systematically taking her to court each time, because we've got, she should have done this in May, she didn't do it, so then they probably thought they could go forward in July. They went forth in July. On September, so then she didn't, so it looks like every 90 days they had been going to court, so maybe he was doing everything he could within the letter of the law, because then September 7th, an order for on citation for contempt was filed with this court and is attached here to as Exhibit B. On October 10, the petitioner filed a second citation for contempt against the respondent for failure to comply with certain terms of the order on citation for contempt. A hearing was held on November 14, 2023, and the respondent was found and held in willful contempt for her failure to pay the mortgage payments and purge payments. On December 22, 2023, an amended order on second citation for contempt was filed with this court and is attached hereto as Exhibit C. The amended order on second citation of contempt provides in relevant part at paragraph 1 as follows. 1. Contempt. The court finds and holds the respondent in willful contempt of the final divorce judgment and decree and incorporated settlement agreement, which were entered on October 27, 2022, in the Superior Court of Harris County, Georgia, Civil Action File 21, TAC CV, TAC 191. For respondents' continued failure to make the monthly home mortgage payments on the marital home located at, I'm not going to say it on YouTube. You guys know what it is. The court finds that the respondent now owes the petitioner additional, now they put arrearages, but I refer to it as arrears, but it's arrearages. I don't know how to say that word. I'm sorry. $6,244.92. And this is in addition to the previously established sum owed in the amount of $2,885.90. Respondent now owes the petitioner a total principal amount of $9,130.82 through the month of November 2023. So we can say that that's almost double, because that was as of November. Now, as you remember, when she came on this platform, she was claiming that she was the victim of domestic violence and saying that ETN was a real blah, 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 monster, blah, blah, blah. If anybody has that, please forward that to the aforementioned information to the judge and to ETN's attorney. Please, because it's going to take a village to take down this villager, this pillaging villager. Petition shows that since the date of entry on the amended order on second citation for contempt, respondent has failed and refused to make any mortgage payments to the petitioner, and that, my friends, is underlined. Petitioner shows that as of the date of filing this motion, that respondent now owes a total unpaid mortgage amounts of $18,498.20. So there you go. It's not like she's acting like everything is just, oh yeah, that's just going to be taken off as the rent. There's no problem. Yeah, she's been getting taken to court every 90 days, which is probably as much as they'll allow. ETN has had this. ETN has known what he's doing for the whole thing. As my good friend says, he's playing the long game. And that's the only way to play. He's letting his attorneys do this. He's letting the court do this. That's the way to keep everybody safe, because you don't know what she's going to do. She's a desperate person who does desperate things and lives in motels and is searching for a man. So hide your husbands, hide your sons, hide everybody. Don't give her any money. The amended order on second citation of contempt also provides, in relevant part, at paragraph 2, as follows. A court ordered remedies and requirements. The court orders that the respondent cooperate to permit a final walkthrough of the marital home by the contractor previously employed by the petitioner to complete certain home repairs. Okay. As you all might recall, I believe that it was ETN's choice to hire ServPro. She was harassing and blocking and lying and saying that ETN was going to come and get her and that he had fooled some people and was in the chat there trying to get the gate code to come and get her. And it was a ruse, and the person playing into that ruse has been called out and has admitted that yes, it was a ruse, that they were all faking it for her, because she did not want to be able to have ServPro come in that house. She doesn't want repairmen in that house because then they would tell ETN that the state of the house. Now that we already know, and the pictures have hopefully been provided, we see what she's doing, and she's in a lot of trouble. She is not a responsible part of society. She's going to need to live in a group home for sober people with dual diagnoses for the rest of her life. And I don't know how she's going to be able to do that because she acts like she's acted online now in the real world. And as we saw, that's problematic because she is a little too cocky and she's going to mouth off to somebody else, and just like she did. And she doesn't have pew-pews to protect her, and she really was never a stunt double or known as roundhouse kick girl. Now, this part I found interesting when Lucy read it, because I've never seen this in a divorce decree. These things that they had to put in there are absolutely ridiculous, and it is because of this asshole right here. Because it says right in here, the respondent shall not threaten or otherwise obstruct the contractor from completing the walkthrough, and the contractor shall be permitted to take photos of areas where work was performed. She's gotten in the middle of that. We know that. You shouldn't have to put that. We're dealing with people who are adults on paper. But we know that Michelle got older but didn't mature. She's a petulant 2-year-old. In addition, the court grants the petitioner sole authority to immediately list the marital home for sale with a licensed Georgia real estate, and the petitioner shall have the sole authority to choose the initial price, to make subsequent price adjustments, if any are recommended by the listing agent, and to sell the home through closing without the respondent's participation. Now, this is notable because that was not in the initial divorce decree. These are things that have been placed in there because of her ongoing contempt. So these things were very much going on in the background, but I don't think that either she was taking it seriously or people missed it, whatever. I was not aware that there was this much going on in the court. I very much thought that ETN was being avoidant and just avoiding her, and I do apologize to ETN for making that assumption. We all know what we say about people who assume, and I have to say that yes, I am the asshole here because I did assume incorrectly that ETN was not doing anything, and I apologize, ETN, for doing that. I should not have assumed. I am now corrected, and I do apologize. And it says that the respondent is not ordered to vacate the property at this time. Okay, now when was this stated? What is she saying? She's just fucking lying as usual, because that's May 10th. So she's not ordered to vacate. What the hell? Did she read it wrong? Doesn't say that she is. It says specifically that It says not. The respondent is not ordered to vacate the property at this time. But if the court is apprised of any evidence that the respondent has engaged in any obstructionist actions that might thwart the sale of the home, the respondent may be ordered to vacate the premises. So is this what happened? Did the heroes of YouTube, you all know who you are, submit information based on this? Maybe so. That'd be funny. That'd be karma, because she used this platform to have all of her lies to get people to feel sorry for her, and that hurts real victims of domestic violence. And that has been my problem with this, is that real victims of domestic violence deserve support, and they deserve to be believed and not questioned. And when you have somebody like this making such a spectacle of themselves, it hurts real victims, and a real victim might be denied and questioned, and we all know what happens as a result of that. For so long as the respondent remains in the marital home, she shall maintain the home in a clean, show-worthy condition, and the respondent shall cooperate with the listing agent to permit the home to be photographed and to be shown to prospective buyers. At the closing of the sale of the home, the petitioner shall first be reimbursed all monies owed by the respondent for unpaid monthly mortgage payments and any additional monies owed by the respondent for her 1/2, 50% of out-of-pocket repairs paid for by the petitioner, and the balance of net proceeds shall be split by the parties at equally 50-50. Because we all need to make sure that Michelle gets a little win, right? Okay, now. Ooh, what do we have here? Ooh, take a sip of coffee, take a sip of tea, because it might be spilled here. There we are. Let me see. Petitioner's attorney shows that since the date of the entry of the amended order on second citation for contempt, the respondent has engaged in obstructionist actions that have delayed the sale of the home and has failed to maintain the home in a clean, show-worthy condition. See affidavit of Gary White attached hereto as Exhibit D. Okay. Well, that was good, because that probably really helped, because having somebody be able to be in that house and say what she did and what they saw and how they couldn't list the house, that's probably really one of her biggest mistakes. Says respondent shall be found in and held in willful contempt, and the court should consider any and all additional remedies in order to ensure the petitioner does not have to continue with subsequent filings. Oh, so this is saying that ETN shouldn't be having to be continued, because I haven't even seen anything here. This says that because of this, his legal fees should be reimbursed out of the sale, because they should. Maybe it's coming. Petitioner shows it has been necessary for petitioner to further... Oh, here we are. See, I'm clairvoyant. Petitioner shows it has been necessary for petitioner to further engage his legal counsel to pursue relief. Petitioner has incurred substantial legal costs in order to pursue these issues, and petitioner should be awarded all of his attorney's fees and expenses of litigation to be paid for by respondent. Ooh, look at her face as she hears this. We can just imagine this is what she's looking like, all sober and everything as she says, right? Look at this look. Now let's change the look on here. Let's do another. Oh, I didn't do anything. Ah! The real estate agent tried to seduce me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ah. Let's do some crying. Ah. All right. So, wherefore, yes, stupid whore, petitioner prays as follows, that rule NISI issue, that a rule NISI issue requiring respondent to be and appear before this honorable court and show why the prayers of petitioner should not be granted. So they're saying, okay, Michelle, If this isn't true, let us see why it's not true. What are you holding back on? What should we know? The court has been especially gracious to Michelle, as always, to say, okay, let us know what's going on. Is there something here? I think that they have went too far in giving her the benefit of the doubt. I was going to get my Black's Law dictionary out to find out what a NISI hearing is, because I don't know. I can't find my Black's Law dictionary. Sorry about that. But anyway, we will look that up. Write that down and get that back to you. NISI hearing. Rule NISI. You guys are probably telling me because it's Rule NISI. So that a rule NISI requiring respondent to be and appear before this honorable court and show why the prayers of the petitioner should not be granted. That respondent be found and held in willful contempt of this court's settlement agreement dated October 27, 2022. Okay, so that was back in October. Why is she still in that house? What the hell? And that was dated September 7, 2023. And this court's amended order on second citation of contempt is dated December 2. She was writing, as I showed you guys on that, she has a few different Facebook profiles, but I was showing you that she was actively saying that her and ETN were getting back together, that they were back together, that they were together under the radar. And so when things would come back up, like the flashbacks of her being in Vegas with him, she would say on top of it, I know that some people didn't see that as I was pointing that out, but the flashback would be there and it would show the date, and she would write on top of it that she can bet, has it on good authority, that that's going to be happening again. Like her and ETN were going to be going to Vegas. She was having everybody believe this. Well, this is actually what was going on. And I don't think that anybody knew to the degree in which she has been in contempt until very recently. As it says, that the court exercises its punitive, criminal, and or civil powers, and that the court exercise, okay, so they're praying that the court exercise its punitive and criminal and or civil powers and incarcerate respondent until such time as respondent purges herself of the said contempt by paying all of the amounts owed and complying with the dictates of this court's order. That was in December. So she could have been in court, in jail, and then wouldn't have had these DUIs. She's damn lucky nothing has happened from those DUIs, because she could have and should have been in court, in jail, by the power of the court so that would have given ETN the opportunity to get in there, get that house ready to be sold, get it all cleaned up, get it all repaired, get it on the market. And then if it can't sell, put it under a short sale, whatever he needed to do. So then she'd be in jail. He'd be able to do what he needed to do safely. This could have and should have been done as of December, and it wasn't. Why? Who knows? Look at how much money she scored from everybody else while she's in this much contempt for what she's been doing. Let's not forget who the real victim is here. The real victim is ETN. He has done nothing to deserve this. And he waited a very, very long time to find a woman to marry. And he thought she was it because of the act that she put on. The act that she puts on must be pretty convincing, because it's convinced hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of people, that she's some kind of victim and deserved all of the money and attention that all of you know has went to her, to support her. All of the money right now goes to her addiction. She's still not been paying any bills. She can't be an insurance investigator. That's ETN's actual job, and she was trying to copy, and I showed that was revoked. So all of that BS that she was going to classes and needing this money for classes, and she had people behind the scenes emailing her, giving her money, causing hate to those of us who are saying it's bull. It's all bull. Look at it. Has she done anything with that? No. All of the people, all of the time, were fooled. It's time to see the fool for what the fool has done. for the prayer that the petitioner be awarded any lawfully authorized interest and if any amounts past due and owing to the petitioner by the respondent. That the court consider any and all additional remedies available. That the petitioner be awarded his attorney's fees and costs of litigation for having to bring the within and foregoing action and for such other and further relief as this honorable court may deem just and proper. And that was signed the 10th of May. Okay, so do we have anything else? Now, 10th of May, verification before me, the undersigned officer duly authorized by law to administer oaths personally appeared. ETN, who after being duly sworn, states the facts set forth in the foregoing third citation for contempt are true and correct to the best of his knowledge and belief. So remember when she was saying that this last hearing, I think that was in December, didn't she say that ETN gave her a kiss on the cheek and she invited him to go to the taco truck with her and stuff? What the hell? So October 27th, final judgment and decree. Final judgment. Okay, so that's their divorce still. Okay, Exhibit A is just their divorce. Don't see anything. Still recited the divorce. Okay. Divorce. Division of equitable property. Okay, that's all there. This is just another copy of that, just in there as an exhibit. We went through all of that. Got all of that. Okay, this is just a lot of time. There's a lot of repetition. I don't see anything here. And that's July 10 to, okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. September 7th, 2023. So that's that order on citation. This is in here as Exhibit B. Okay. So they brought that in. Okay. So Exhibit B was in this, and then this says here that, so this is still on there, but they have exhibits within inserted. And then let me see if this is anything that would explain things. It says the court finds that the respondent's allegation that the petitioner has failed to complete certain court-ordered home repairs was not adequately pled by the respondent in her contempt citation, and thus the respondent's allegations concerning unfinished home repairs was not heard. The hell? Okay. Well, once again, Michelle gets her way. Okay. Order on citation for contempt. The above styled case having been called for hearing on July 12th, 2023. with petitioner present. So this was last July. Okay, this is the one. Did Tragic's friend go to this one? And this was July 12, 23. It says, the above styled case having been called for a hearing on July 12, 2023, with petitioner present and represented by attorney Scott S. Sykes, and with defendant appearing and representing herself. What do they say there? That means you have a fool for a client. And with the court hearing testimony and considering documentary evidence provided by both parties on their respective citations for contempt against each other, the court does find, adjudge, and order as follows. Respondent's contempt against petitioner. So Michelle tried to say that ETN was doing this. Okay, so let's see. Oh my God. I can't fucking believe this. The court finds the petitioner to be in contempt. So they're saying ETN is in contempt. I can't fucking believe. I can't make this up. The court finds the petitioner to be in contempt for his communications to the respondent that led respondent to believe petitioner would return respondent's wine rack. Oh my God. We are dealing with everything else, and this twat gets away with this. Did you turn on the tears for the judge? Did you do that? Did you not wear underwear in your skirt and pull a Sharon Stone to the judge the whole time? Because how did you get contempt against ETN? Oh my God. This is what's wrong with our courts. This is what's wrong with them. Oh my God. Would return respondent's wine rack in a damaged state. So what, did ETN threaten to hurt the wine rack? Petitioner is ordered to purge himself of his contempt by returning the said wine rack to the respondent immediately following court. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? What is going on? Georgia. Oh my God. Okay, number 2. The court does not find the petitioner to be in contempt for the alleged violation of the restraint provision of the parties' divorce decree, but only because the evidence indicates both parties have made prohibitive statements towards each other and or to others. Both parties are ordered to cease and desist making any such communications in the future. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So she is allowed to do this whole smear campaign so anybody can Google ETN for the rest of his life and see this asshole as the ball and chain linked to him. And everything that she has said about everybody who has ever done anything nice to her, and ETN had given her the most. He was a mark. She marked him. She fooled him. She lied to him. She exploited him. And to have the court further abuse him is only because he is male and the system is flawed and it does not treat males in the same way, especially when they are the victim of spousal abuse, which ETN 100% is. I cannot believe that the court saw everything put in front of them and saw her history in doing everything here and does not act on her, but further rewards her behavior. Because what do? They saw her as the little woman who was abused by this big, big man. Did she turn on the tears? It's disgusting. And that is why our courts are broken. I'm going to tell you what I'd do with that wine rack, but then you know what? I might be getting a free trip to Georgia. Be put in jail there. Anyway, that's disgusting. And there is no way, shape, or form that anything that ETN has said ever amounts to the 1000% that she says about him and has ruined his reputation using his real name, because she's the biggest idiot and uses her real name, his real name, former spouse's real names, her children's real names, her identifiers, her address. She wasn't, oh yeah, it's about doxing online. Yeah, she is the idiot who doxes herself. It says when you sign up for YouTube, don't use your real name. I read it. I cannot believe this. So this was back in December, and it says the court finds that the respondent's allegation that the petitioner has failed to complete certain court-ordered home repairs was not adequately pled by the respondent in her contempt citation, and thus the respondent's allegations concerning unfinished home repairs was not heard. What the hell? I'm sorry, ETN. I'm sorry on behalf of humanity. I am disgusted. And I have taken so much heat for saying that we, as citizens, as witnesses of what she has been doing, have a duty to report to the court, to certify to the court, to show the court the evidence in which we have seen on every criminal aspect and civil otherwise. I have gotten so much heat for that, for saying, oh, the court takes its time to do things. Back off, the court's doing things. Is this showing you that it's not being done? Is this showing you that? Is this showing you that it takes the community and there is something called a community call of action, because that is how you get things done? It is called a grassroots effort, and that is how things are done. Because the court is overworked. Because things clogging it up. Like Miss Turdpole and her wine rack. And as I have stated how many times, ETN is a victim and he is a veteran. And when I called him out as a veteran and I explained the PTSD in his eyes and that 40-yard stare and no one listened to me, I did that, almost 2 years ago? Because it wasn't very popular to call out Michelle as the abuser that she was, but I did it. And it wasn't very popular until somebody tried to use it to make a lot of money and super chats y'all on it. But I am the one who first called it out. I called it out first, I called it out consistently, and I'm calling it out again. And it is disgusting that a veteran of our United States military has been exploited, mistreated, and absolutely stomped on by the judicial system. This is disgusting. I apologize, ETN, for not knowing that it was this bad, not knowing that she was getting away with this, and I can only hope that anybody listening now who has the evidence will provide it in abundance so that the right thing can be done, although it is not in a timely fashion. Maybe having the right thing done, ultimately playing the long game as you have, will pay off. I do apologize, ETN. I apologize for assuming you weren't doing anything, and I see why I would be so frustrated. I would be so frustrated if I were you. Petitioner's contempt against respondent. Finally, the court finds that the respondent be in contempt for her failure to assume responsibility. Oh, there you go. A judge woke up. Ah! Finally, the court finds the respondent to be in contempt for her failure to assume responsibility for payment of the monthly home mortgage payments beginning June 1, 2023, as she was and is court-ordered to do in the parties' final divorce judgment and decree and settlement agreement entered on October 27, 2023. 2022, in the Superior Court of Harris County, Georgia, Civil Action File 21, Tax CV, TAC 191. The court specifically finds that the respondent owes the petitioner $2,885.90 for the June 2023 and July mortgage payments, and the respondent is ordered to purge herself of the contempt by paying the petitioner this amount within 30 days. Okay, is that what she did, that big money grab, acting like she needed this for a class and everything? Did everybody go and give her all that money because she needed to do it to get herself out of contempt? Is that what that money grab was about? And then the court does not find the respondent to be in willful contempt for the power bill the petitioner most recently paid. But the petitioner has authority to forego paying any of the home utilities going forward. Oh, how nice of them. So when she was saying she paid the power bill, oh, yay, Michelle paid a power bill, getting money from everybody else because she's able to do that. 5, reservation. The issue of attorney's fee is reserved. Disgusting. And this was done by a senior judge at the Chattahoochee Judicial Court, state of Georgia, by William Smith, senior judge. If he's up for election, make sure to pay attention when you vote, folks, because this is what's going on. And then it is prepared by the attorney for ETN, who is Scott Sykes, 1T. And it was approved by, and Michelle refused to sign. So it is signed as respondent refuses to sign. Initialed by counsel for petitioner. God. So then December 22nd, 2023, we just still have an amended order on second citation for contempt, the above styled case having been called for hearing via Zoom on November 13, 2023, with petitioner appearing and represented by attorney Scott Sykes, and with respondent appearing and representing herself, and with the court hearing testimony and considered documentary evidence provided by both parties. The court does find a judge and order as follows. 1. Contempt. The court finds and holds the respondent in willful contempt of the final divorce judgment and decree incorporated in the settlement agreement, which were entered October 27, 2022, in the Superior Court of Harris County, Georgia, Civil Action File 21, Tax CV, TAC 191, for respondent's continued failure to make the monthly home mortgage payments on the marital home located, I'm not going to say it. Court finds that the respondent now owes the petitioner additional I think it's arrears, but anyway, $6,244 in addition to $285. Okay, so now we got the principal amount of $9,130.82 through the month of November 2023. Okay, now what's the problem? Exhibit C, court ordered remedies and requirements. The court orders that the respondent cooperate to permit a final walkthrough of the marital home by the contractor previously employed by the petitioner to complete certain home repairs. The respondent shall not threaten or otherwise obstruct the contractor from completing the walkthrough, and the contractor shall be permitted to take photos of areas where work was performed. In addition, the court grants the petitioner sole authority to immediately list the marital home for sale with a licensed Georgia real estate agent, and the petitioner shall also have sole authority to choose the initial list price, to make any subsequent price adjustments, if any are recommended by the listing agent, and to sell the home through closing without the respondent's participation. The respondent is not ordered. Okay, there we go. So I'm basically rereading this as it's just placed back in here. And so it says again, the respondent is not ordered to vacate the property at this time, but if the court is apprised of any evidence that the respondent has engaged in any obstructionist actions that might thwart the sale of the home, the respondent may be ordered to vacate the premises. For so long as the respondent remains in the marital home, she shall maintain the home in a clean, show-worthy condition, and respondent shall cooperate with the listing agent agent to permit the home to be photographed and shown to prospective buyers. At the closing of the sale of the home, the petitioner shall first be reimbursed monies owed by the respondent for unpaid mortgage payments, any additional monies owed, 50-50, blah, 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 blah. The issue of attorney's fees is reserved. Signatures on the next page. Okay, we're getting there. That's still that 21st day of December. Okay. Why is this in here? Okay, so then February 12th, 2024 at 9:17. And this is the affidavit. So this must be the agent. Let's see why this is in here. You've had so many treats. Sorry, guys. He keeps shaking me down for his Sheba sticks. He loves the Sheba sticks. They're meat sticks, and I have to get them by the case because he believes he needs a lot of meat sticks. And when I'm sitting here trying to stay focused and not be loving my little boo friend here, he gets many sticks. He's had 4 sticks as we speak. Boo, I just put it behind you, honey. There you go, little boo friend. He was so cuddly last night because there was a storm. He was very scared. Okay. So, this is the civil action file. ETN is a petitioner. Michelle is the respondent. State of Georgia. County of Harris. An affidavit personally appearing before the undersigned officer authorized to administer oaths, Mr. Gary White, who upon being sworn to speak the truth, deposes and states the following. My name is Gary White, and I currently reside in Midland, Georgia. I am over 18 years of age. I am not mentally disabled. If called to testify under oath, I am willing to tell the court or anyone with a need to know about the things contained in this statement. No one has forced or coerced me to make these statements, and I do not make these statements under duress. I make the following statements based on my own personal knowledge. I am a licensed real estate agent in Georgia and Alabama, and I own White Real Estate Agent Group, LLC. I was recently contacted by Mr. ETN NOBODY concerning the possibility of listing his Harris County, Georgia for sale. On Wednesday, January 2024, I went to the Sabat residence in Harris County to conduct a walkthrough of the home with Ms. Michelle Sabate. I don't know if it's Sabate or Sabate. I do apologize. ETN. There was also to be an appraisal of the home that day as well. 2 earlier visits had been canceled by Michelle. Wouldn't those cancellations be contempt to the lame judge of Harris County, Georgia? Boo friend, I just gave you one. Boo friend, everybody is hearing you shake me down now. He just scratches on his little cabinet until I open and give him what he needs. Boo friend, you're gonna get fat. I can't believe how many of these you have won by. You know when you have small children and you get on the phone and they bug you and grab your legs and stuff? It's no different. My boo friend does this. Okay, so anyway. I think that canceling the real estate, I think that canceling on him right there is contempt, but you know what? I'm not a judge. Should have been, though. I'd be a good judge. I would sentence people like that. Anyway. Not long after I arrived, I encountered verbal rhetoric from Michelle Sabate like none I have ever experienced. Let's put a different expression on her face for this one. So okay, imagine being this poor real estate agent and having this thing come at you like this. Maybe she even had her bikini on for everybody to show her bikini body. And maybe she was offering him all kinds of things, but let's see. I arrived prior to the appraiser and was alone with Michelle Sabate for about an hour. Oh my God, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody else. Don't be alone with Michelle. Oh no, here you go. Guys, ready for this? And I know you guys probably heard this, but I have not read it myself. So you guys ready? I know this is shocking, okay? Because Michelle is sober. We all know that she is sober. She doesn't have anything in her blood and urine as she's stated here and as this. But surprisingly enough, the real estate agent has testified that there was a smell of alcohol from Michelle Sabate. Michelle invited me in. Oh my God, don't go in. My God, can you imagine? There's bats, rats, and her twat. Anyway, she invited me in. Her twat. The visit seemed as if it was going well until we got upstairs and she started talking about what she had given up marrying Mr. Sabate. What? You gave up what? You were living in a motel having people daily pay you for your golden pussy to live in a motel. Anyway, she'd given up what? What did you give up to marry him? What did you give up? Nothing. You had nothing. You are a convicted drunk driver of over how many times? How many times have you been arrested? She stated that she'd given up $150,000. She stated, you guys ready? She stated that she had given up $150,000 a year job as an escargot. Can you, I can't say the word probably on here. So I'm going to say escargot. You lying hag. You do not have the golden pussy. So she was making $150,000. Now, it has been proven and stated that one of the conditions, I'm just saying this off to this isn't in the court, but she was supposed to stop that job. She was, of course, working that when she met him. And she had always worked that. In fact, not only her, but she had brags about running girls. So she was also a pimp. So, oh my God, she didn't ever stop. And so throughout the marriage, she was still working. She never stopped. She never has stopped. She has never stopped working as a pro. Whether or not she gets paid for it is the thing, or if people pay her to leave has always been debatable. So she corners this real estate man upstairs and says, you know what I gave up to marry ETN? I gave up $150,000 a year career as a hoe. Okay? This pussy right here was getting $150,000 a year. $150,000. That's, 10K. 10K a month. She asked me if I knew what a paid date escort was, and I told her I guess it's someone that dates lonely individuals for money. She asked me if I had a partner, and I said yes before I could finish. She said that ETN doesn't know you are. Oh my God. I don't want to hurt this man. So I'm not going to say the word that rhymes with say. And he further said, I'm not. Before you cut me off, I was telling you that my partner was my heterosexual wife, and the young lady that came with me on this last visit was my daughter. So in other words, she implied that he was. Michelle then started attacking my manliness and said repeatedly that I was very feminine, as if to spark an argument. She said, I apologize if I offended you and that there is nothing to be ashamed of. And I said, I am not. Word that rhymes with say. She continued to insist that I was. Word that rhymes with say, in a demeaning manner, and that I was not manly at all. Oh my God. So this is how she gets, if you say no to her, then, oh, something must be wrong with you. You must be, word that rhymes with say, because only a word that rhymes with say man would reject this, right? Right? Am I right? You don't want this? You don't want this? Look at it. Look at it. You don't want it? Well, you must be. You damn homophobe. It doesn't mean that a man is word that rhymes with say. If they reject you, it might be because you have a turd pole and you have not been using toilet paper for over a year since ETN stopped paying for the toilet paper. And we know you don't have any toilet paper. And in fact, when confronted about it, you've been using paper towels. So there might be paper cuts on that fly trap and everything else. And we've seen bats and rats crawl out of every orifice. I don't know what's wrong with you that you don't insult a man like that. You nasty, filthy fucking whore. Anyway. She continued to insist that I was in a demeaning manner and that I was not manly at all. Fucking bitch. I kept my mouth shut, and around that time, the appraiser showed up and we walked outside. During the course of the appraisal, Michelle heard the appraiser ask me how another transfer of ownership with the property that the appraiser had done, an appraisal had gone. She yelled from below that I had lied, and I defended my conversation with the appraiser and said, I didn't lie. This appraiser did an appraisal for a friend of mine, not me. At one point, Mr. Sabate was on the phone with Michelle, and Michelle was trying to drag me into the conversation as if to side with her. Oh my God. So what, she called up ETN and was like, oh my God, you sent over not a very manly man at all, and now there's this not very manly man in here, and I know oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bitch, if you won $150,000 a year, and I say won because you didn't earn it, you were one of those escorts that goes to the door, and the thing that you do when you get to the door is you cover the little peephole so the man who ordered up cannot look out that peepee hole. Peephole. Sorry, I get the holes confused. So then she's, because there are this kind of girl in the line of work. Don't ask me how I know, but she's a peephole coverer. So a person like her would sneak up on the door, put their thumb on the peephole. And so the poor man who had ordered something other than her would then open the door, and she would be the one that then sticks her foot in the door, keeping her hand then in the door and her foot in, and then start talking at the man and threatening to blackmail him for doing this and that, and she gets paid to leave. So I have no doubt that you won $150,000 a year blackmailing men. I have no doubt, because I can tell you that you did not earn it by... No. Nope. Nope. You never earned your money, because that profession is a profession that has people who earn their money in a way that some people choose to do that, and some people are forced into it. Whichever way it is something that takes a part of your body and soul, and there's no amount of money that should be exchanged for taking that away from another person. And so even in that line of work, Michelle has exploited people in ways that are unspeakable. I asked if I could interject something with both of them as she put the phone on speaker. And I stated, by no means have the actions that Michelle has been describing to you, Mr. Sabate. Neither party should interpret that I am taking sides. You homophobic, racist, nasty, vile, veteran abusing. I walked downstairs with the appraiser, and within a few minutes, Michelle came down the steps and screamed at me twice. How dare I interject myself into her conversation? I yelled back at Michelle, telling her that she should not have brought me into the conversation. I am a Christian man, and Michelle threatened voodoo and witchcraft with a candle she had burning and wickedly said, "Gary, you better be careful." Michelle had taken credit by text message for a real estate office burning down the week prior and the death of someone's relative that she didn't like. The appraiser and I left out the side door and left the home. My intentions were to never return. After I left the area, Michelle sent texts backing up substantially all of my claims. Well, you nasty, vile bitch, you are not good enough to be considered an actual witch. You are a wicked witch and a witch of the dark, and you not only are true witches are those that work with the earth and are healing people and empaths, and they are nothing in which she claims to be. Voodoo is a thing from where she grew up in NOLA, where it's based, and there are practitioners that are intentional, and I imagine that they are good and bad as well, but I have heard her try to do this voodoo stuff before when backed up against the wall to scare people. Her mentioning fire here is not the first time that we have heard about fire and threatening fire. Remember how she lost the rights to her children and how she said that that was a lie? We'll think about what she just threatened right now while being, when she was told no, when a man had rejected her. I don't think there's any question that what she tried to do to those kids in that closet with that can of gasoline, I don't have any doubt that is true. 1000% true. She's into fire. She's into this and that, but don't be scared, anybody. She doesn't have any power. She is powerless. She is not anything to be feared. She's all talk. As the folk hero who beat her ass down to the ground a couple of weeks ago showed, she's nothing. Where was her voodoo and her black magic and her witchcraft and every other thing that in her magic fighting skills and her roundhouse kick? She is nothing. So nobody should ever be afraid of her. Ever. No matter what she talks, what she threatens, she's nothing. ETN is doing the right thing by doing the court thing in the way that it is. And again, he is being re-victimized over and again, and look at what she did to this man. Can you imagine the agent in the appraisal being yelled at and she's doing this shit? And they sneak out the side door. My God, nobody should be alone in that house with that woman. Nobody should be alone with her anywhere. Page 2, affidavit of Gary White. I am 62 years old. I have never been spoken to in such a manner. I had to seek counseling from family and friends. This man has a cause of action against her, for sake. This man is probably going to suffer and always be afraid. This happens to women in real estate because women have been victimized how many times being alone in a house, and a man had probably never had to feel that. Well, now he has, because this thing victimizes men, children, elderly, pregnant armadillos, and bats. And bats are amazing. Bats are adorable. And it disgusts me that she has those dead bats going in there dying. And I can't imagine the smell of the decomposing bats and everything. And I think it is so cruel that she's let those bats go. And I don't know what is wrong with the health department or anything else not blocking people from, like, Serpro should not be able to go in that house, because until and after it is remediated, because bats can carry rabies and the hantavirus, etc., etc. And so the bat shit that she has all over that house, that is transported by air. So nobody should be in that house. That's one thing right there. But who is in that house? The dogs. Always. Because how did she get the dogs back? Nasty. Anyway, this poor man. He had to seek counseling from family and friends. He became temporarily paranoid that as he has aged, he's lost his masculinity. She threatened his masculinity enough that this man took it to heart. This poor man. Look at this bitch. Watch our videos. There's nothing to this. Watch what a joke she is. She's nothing but an... Okay. Oh my God. And he said he's been taking thyroid medication since last year. And he was already concerned with losing his body mass when he aged. And all of the changes that his body changes the body makes when they age. He goes, I hope to never be around that woman again. And I prayed to God that even though I don't like this woman, he wants to save her at all cost. That's really sad. You should be really, really fucking proud of yourself, you dumb bitch. Anyway, certificate of service. I do hereby certify that I am counsel for petitioner, that I have this date served, opposing counsel, all this, okay? So this is this. There's nothing. There is nothing in the courthouse that has been filed to date. This person who gave me this information is trustworthy and scoured everything in the court system. There is nothing there. There is nothing. And she did what I do, where you check it against the register of actions. And so there's nothing. She's just making a big lie again to get a big cash dump so that she can go and stay in a motel and then try and trick somebody else into getting with her, because in the register of actions, it shows that the third citation for contempt was given on 5/10/24. And then on 6/17, there is a scheduled rule NISI hearing. So 6/17 at 9:30. Now, the only thing I'm wondering is if there was something more in the 5/10, but there for the third citation. I don't know. I don't see anything. Does anybody else have true verification that anything has been done, or is this just her games? I am sorry, ETN. I am sorry, Mr. White. I am sorry for every man who has ever been victimized by this bitch. I'm sorry to every child, pregnant armadillo, and oh my God, make her go away. Make her go away. Please. Somebody make her go away. Please. And like I say, anybody who wants to support my 2024 garden because I like to make something good out of something bad, please cash app me at TabithaJane13 and cash app. I thank you for listening. I will continue to stay on top of this case. And please continue to support ETN to continue to make this wrong or right, and show that ETN is not a participant. He is not an equal participant. He was not and is not ever doing as much as she is saying she's done. That's bull, and this court needs to know it. So, you know what? As always, I will. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up the contact information for this judge, and I will get more heat for it, but this is what it's going to take. A community cause of action. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And we will close now. We will step away from this and wonder what the hell she's trying to do as a cash grab. I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to Mocking Media and like and share and subscribe to me and follow me to Rumble. Ask me for the link or check it out on the community page, my link for Rumble, and sign up under my link, please. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Michelle. Nasty frickin' snatch from hell. All right, let's go.